Hello, world. This is Adam Turvitt. Welcome to our CrossClave release party. I'm really excited to be with you today, and I hope that today it'll be a good opportunity for some of you to learn about CrossClave for the first time. I'm also really excited to tell you, not only what's in this new release, but some of the cool new things that we're doing to make sure CrossClave is available to more people. At the end, if you stick around, I also will have a chance to give away a little bit of Spider Oak swag, which is a pretty fun thing. So let's get started. Uh, Today is a big release of CrossClave. CrossClave, for those of you who don't know, is a secure collaboration app produced by Spider Oak. Many of you probably know us, Spider Oak, the company, either for things like our secure backup product or our password manager encryptor, or maybe a chat product we put out a few years ago called Semaphore. These are kind of those are legacy products, things that we've spent lots of time on over the years. But CrossClave is an exciting new direction that we're heading in as a company, and it's really something that we hope a lot of people will be interested in, and it'll be something that can help you do your work better. So uh, today I'm going to tell you a little bit about CrossClave in general, as well as this release in specific, and then uh, talk a little bit about how you can get CrossClave for free. So this release is called Jumping Spider. It's kind of we're trying something new. Yeah, I've always really enjoyed software like WordPress or Ubuntu that have kind of fun mascots for each of their releases. We're a company called Spider Oak. We talked about it. I was really hoping we could name our releases after professional wrestlers, but the arachnids won out. So uh, version 2.16 of CrossClave is codenamed Jumping Spider. Now, before I get into the specifics of what's in this release, let me talk a little bit about CrossClave in general. So uh, there are a lot of really great collaboration and messaging apps out there, and all of them are good for different things. Uh, some are aimed at consumers, some are aimed at businesses, and then there are some that are aimed for, publicly available data, a few for sensitive data, fewer that are really good for private and confidential data. And what's the difference? Well, confidential data is, business secrets, uh, information that will have a detrimental effect to an individual or a company if it were to come out. This isn't talking about like illegal things. This is just confidential stuff. The stuff that if you were to put it in an email, you would feel very uncomfortable. Now, private data is things like social security numbers, personally identifiable information. Also, the kind of thing that you wouldn't want to put in an email, but all too often, that's something that we get asked to do. For example, a few years ago, I bought my first house. I was amazed at the things that the bank was asking me to send them over email. Send me your tax returns, they say. I don't want to send that over email. First of all, we can't assume that email has any reasonable degree of privacy. And second, how do you maintain your servers? What is your IT staff like? These are all questions that we shouldn't really have to ask when we're dealing with confidential and private information. Now, for sensitive information, stuff that would be embarrassing if it were leaked, or private conversations that we don't want the world at large to see. That's something we need to protect, but it doesn't have the degree of importance that private and confidential information have. Then, of course, there's public information. There are a lot of great apps that do really well for public level information. Uh, Zoom, for example, is something that you've probably used a lot in the last year, and Zoom is great for publicly available information. But if that's the level of security we can expect from all apps, we're in big trouble. So what we've tried to do with this chart is kind of show you, There are a lot of apps that are great. Dropbox, Box, these are awesome apps that work well. And if you use them with the right type of data, you're going to have a good user experience. Slack is something that is all over the work world. And I'm not trying to knock Slack. I think Slack is a great product, and Slack's team has done a very good job of making it something that's enjoyable and easy to use. We learn a lot from Slack, and we want to be like Slack in a lot of ways. But Slack is also not the kind of place you want to put private or confidential business information or personal information. For this kind of information on the consumer side, Signal is a great app. Signal is something that I use every day, and at Spider Oak, we actually use Signal as kind of a communications backup. We won't send text messages to each other, but we do send Signal messages to each other all the time because sometimes you just need to be able to send a text, and Signal is excellent for that. What Signal is not great at is when you need to have a group message, or if you need to have ongoing conversations with a group of people. Have you ever been in a Signal group and you add a new person in? What does that person see? Nothing. They only see data that was put into that group chat after they were added. That's kind of the niche that CrossClave lives in. We have the security of something like Signal, but we're built for groups. We're optimized for business. And we make sure that things like the situation I just described, adding someone to a channel after a period of time, they're able to read up. They'll see all the chats, they'll have access to all the files, and it'll be a good transition for them to come into that those channels of that team. So let's talk a little bit specifically about CrossClave today and what this update means. Now, if you're already a CrossClave user, the next time you launch the application, you're going to see a screen like this that just says CrossClave needs an update. We don't do this with every release, but with major releases like today, we thought this was important because we want everybody to be able to experience all the new features that we've got added in. So if you see this screen, all you need to do is click the Update Now button. That'll take you to our website to start a download of our installer. Just make sure you exit the CrossClave application before you run the installer. That way you'll get a clean install. You don't have to uninstall the old version or anything like that. Just run the installer. The new version will be installed over top of the old one. Then you can relaunch CrossClave and you'll have access to all the new features. So let's talk about what some of those are. This release is all about chat. We've worked really hard to make this release one that showcases chat and all the things that you can do with chat in a secure situation. So one of the things you'll notice right off the bat is in chat, we now have support for different kinds of rich text. We have support for app mentions, and we have support for system notifications. So depending on which operating system you're using, Windows, Mac, or Android, you'll get those notifications in slightly different ways, but we have system notification support as of this release. This is an important step towards having push notifications, which will be coming soon in a future release. But for now, system notifications are there, and you'll be able to use those as you're working with your team inside CrossClave. As I mentioned, we do have support for Android right now. Uh, I am personally an Apple person, but as we released CrossClave for Android, I've started to use Android more and more. Man, that's a cool operating system. I really like it. So if you're an Android user, you are in luck because CrossClave really, really works well. In particular, when you're working on a file in other apps, for example, an Office app, if you're working on a Word doc, sharing it into CrossClave works really, really seamlessly. You just do that through the share menu, and then you can choose which team and which space you want to add the file to. And as I just mentioned, system level notifications for chat are also included in this release. Now, one of the things both on desktop and on mobile that we're most proud of is really the way that CrossClave handles teams and working with teams, working with users. Need to know is a phrase you've probably heard from a spy movie or something like that. It's a concept that is usually applied when we're talking about the military or organizations that deal with, the CIA, spies, things like that. But need to know is an important concept to bring into our daily life in the internet because not everybody needs to know everything. So in CrossClave, you're able to bring people into a team with you. When you're in a team with someone, there are certain things you can do out of the box with all of the people who are in your team, and certain things that you're able to segment your team with. So uh, when you look at your team, you're able to do things like change team member roles. You can make someone the owner of a team. You can make them the admin of a team. You can make them a member. And these three roles have different permissions. You're able to update these on the fly, which is one of the really cool things that I think we've done is this is a blockchain-based permissions engine or policy engine. This is a pretty revolutionary thing that we've done, and we're really excited for all of the things this will let us do in the future, such as having very industry specific policy engine based workflows. If you're in HR, for example, you'll be able to make a custom workflow to use inside your company when it's time to renew insurance or make changes to somebody's insurance coverage. Well, you'll be able to load in a custom workflow that will allow you and the person who's on your team to go through this workflow so that they can sign all the documents, return them to you in a completely secure manner. That's just one example. I think every industry has their own ways that custom policy is going to be useful. But for now, you can make sure that you can add people to your team and that they're able to function within the roles that you assign them. Now, within a specific space, anybody who is part of your space inside your team is able to work with the files and interact in the chat for that space. Your entire team is not all in a space, just the specific team members that you've invited. So you're able to segment on a need to know basis. At Spider Oak, we use lots and lots of channels. I'm part of the customer success department. We will have a customer success channel. We have a customer success channel just for copy pasta when we're working on documentation. We have a channel for CS to work with the QA team. There's a channel for designs that everybody can comment on the designer's work. We have management channels. We have sales channels. We have marketing channels. And by segmenting the channel membership based on who in the team you'd like to have access to that information, you're able to have very focused conversations, and you never need to worry about whether or not that data is available to someone who shouldn't have access to it. In particular, this makes onboarding and offboarding particularly easy. If you remove someone from a team, they immediately they've lost access to all of the files and conversations in all of the channels that happened in that team. So this is a really great for small businesses and medium businesses, or for just groups at large. This is a great way to use the power of encryption to help protect your data on a need-to-know basis. Now, the heart of CrossClave will always be the file interface, and that's what you can see here. Uploading files to CrossClave and then working on them in a collaborative manner allows you to be safe, not have files sitting on your hard drive taking up space. They're hosted in the cloud, but you're still able to use whatever applications you like to use to interact with those files. You're just doing it in a secure way. So, for example, for me, I love taking markdown notes. And through CrossClave, you're able to throw all those notes into a space. When you want to work on a note or view it, double click it. You can make changes, save those changes, go back to CrossClave, commit them, and anybody else in the space is always able to have the most up-to-date version automatically available to them through CrossClave. There's no setting up two-way syncs. There's no waiting for data to sync. It's automatic, very seamless, and you get unlimited versioning for free. If you don't have to worry about if you messed up, can I roll back to another version? That's always available. and we have unlimited versioning is really at the heart of CrossClave. All right, so now for some exciting stuff. Thanks for listening to all that information. Today, we're excited to announce that we've added a free plan to CrossClave. In the past, we still have various plans based on how much storage you need, how many members of your team, and the type of features you need. So we offer HIPAA compliant business associate agreements with some of our plans. We offer different levels of support with different plans. We are really excited, though, to offer a free plan to anyone who would like to try out CrossClave. You can get this by going to crossclave.spideroak.com. You can also go to spideroak.com and look at the CrossClave page, and that'll give you lots more information about CrossClave. So today, as part of this exciting, free CrossClave tier, I'm excited to offer some free swag. We have a swag shop that I have $10 gift certificates that I can hand out. And $10, we sell all of our swag at cost because we want to make this kind of a fun perk for our users. So if you are one of the first 5 people to sign up for a free CrossClave plan and then send me an email at cipherchallenge@spideroak-inc.com, send me an email there and let me know the email address you used to sign up for CrossClave. I will send you a $10 gift certificate to our swag shop, and you can get a t-shirt, a mug, a bunch of stickers, anything up to $10, free shipping. The shipping's on me. So please go try it out. We want to make, CrossClave is, we're still in an early adopter phase. This isn't like completely ready for prime time in a huge organization, but for individuals, small groups, teams, it works great. And we use this all day, every day here at Spider Oak. That's why we feel comfortable opening it up to the world, to you. So be one of the first 5 to sign up for any of our plans, including the free plan. Shoot me an email at cipherchallenge@spideroakinc.com, and I'll send you a $10 gift certificate for some free swag. Tomorrow, come back, same bat time, same bat channel. Tomorrow I'm going to be talking about another exciting part of what we're offering. It's the Spider Oak community. We haven't had a community, and we're going to launch one tomorrow. This is for anybody who is a customer, somebody who's interested in learning more about Spider Oak. It's going to be a way to interact with our team in a more casual environment. It's also going to be a way for you to influence the things that we do in our roadmap. So if you're a Spider Oak customer, you wanted to have more of a say in the features that we have, or learn more about specific use cases, anything that you want to know or want to help us do better, come join us in the Spider Oak community. I'll talk about that tomorrow here on another YouTube Live. We'll be doing this every day, 12:30 Central Time. Whether right now we just started daylight time, so 12:30 Central Daylight Time, and we'll be doing one of these every day for the foreseeable future. Thanks again for joining. I know that your time is valuable, and I really appreciate you taking the time to joining us to join me today. Now, if you're seeing a replay of this, please still reach out. I'm happy to, you don't have to be on the live version to qualify for one of the swag packages. So go and sign up for CrossClave. Shoot me an email. Again, that email is cipherchallenge@spideroakinc.com, and I'll hook you up with some free swag. Thanks, and I'll see you tomorrow.